Jake! Go Cookie! Go! Up the Rabbitohs!
Hey guys, and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video, I will be reviewing how I went in round 14, and then I'll be giving you my round 15 tips. Now, I know this one's coming a little bit late on the Monday night. I've pretty much just gotten home. I've got a small amount of time to record this and the AFL tips. So, yeah, I apologise it's not out earlier. Obviously, there was a game today. So, yeah. But we're getting into it anyway, so let's talk about it. Round 14, Game 1, Dragons-Tigers. I backed in the Dragons here, thought they'd get the job done. I thought it would be on the higher end of a 1 to 12, but man, 56 to 14. I did not see that coming. The Tigers just absolutely destroyed by the Dragons, and to the Dragons' credit, man, they were incredible in this game. They were so good. They looked dangerous. They looked up for this game, so credit to them. Very strong win, and I think they take a lot of confidence out of that. I know it's against the Tigers, but you can only play what's in front of you. I thought they did that extremely well in this game. So good win for the Dragons. Next up, my Rabbitohs. I backed them in here. Only 37% tipped the Bunnies. They hadn't lost to the Titans at Seabus since 2009, I believe, which is just an incredible achievement for any team. So really, really good win here for the Rabbitohs, 46 to 12. I thought a lot of players stood up, especially the spine. I thought every one of the spine members stood up. And this is what happens when you put two experienced players like Cody Walker and Jackie Boy Whiten in the halves, man. Latrell Mitchell played one of his best games in red and green, in my opinion, in this one. Really looking for that Blues jersey, I reckon. So really strong performance here. I didn't think the Titans were horrible in this game, but, they definitely didn't take opportunities when they were given to them. And David Fifita, I thought he was good in this game, but he came good late. So, look, I think great win for the Rabbitohs. Titans, disappointing result, realistically, at home, but I think, I still think they'll be all right. I still think they can definitely turn it around. Cowboys, Warriors, I don't know why I backed the Cowboys. I just don't, to be honest. Warriors, 42 to 12 winners. Really, really good win there for the Warriors. 66% of people agreed with me. I don't know. I thought North Queensland, they get the job done. It's disappointing, man. It was disappointing. So credit to the Warriors, though. Warriors came to play. Warriors were dangerous. They took the opportunities that came their way. And, the Cowboys, unfortunately, I don't know where they go from here. All right, next up, another tip wrong. These two games were supposed to go the other way, just quietly. Obviously, I took the favourites in this one as well, the Broncos, Suncorp Stadium, Sharkies, no Nico Hines. I was close to going Cronulla, but I thought, no, it's Suncorp. Broncos would be too good. They get the job done. I was bloody wrong. About that. Sharkies, man, they're resilient. They are resilient. They're a resilient side this year. Yeah, they've had a few poor games of late, but I tell you what, man, they're looking good. They are looking good. All right, next up, Storm over the Knights. Backed in this one. A pretty good win for Storm, all things considered. I thought Newcastle were brave in this game, and I thought, some opportunities some calls didn't go their way that definitely probably should have at some points, but Storm were always the better team in my eyes, so strong win there for Storm. Then Panthers finished off Sunday afternoon footy with a 32-22 win over the Seagulls. I did think that this one would be relatively close. I actually thought the Storm game would go 13 plus, but the Panthers game I thought would be relatively close. Panthers were incredible. Seagulls were incredible. I thought both teams actually played really well in this game. I know people probably disagree with that. I'll probably get people saying that that's incorrect. Both teams were pretty off. But from what I saw, I thought it was a pretty entertaining game of footy, to be honest. But hey, that's just my opinion there. There's another tip right there, and you take those. And the Doggies come from behind win there. Eels were up 18-10 late in that second half there. Doggies came back and got the 22-18 win there. This was the only game that the fans sided with Parramatta. Well, sorry, outside of the Titans game. I thought the Dogs would win this one. I think the Eels were definitely favourites in this one. They were definitely favourites. But man, the Dogs are different this year. The Dogs are different. So a very good win for the Bulldogs. But now we go on to round 15, and I will give you my round 15 tips, starting with the Sharks and the Dolphins. Thursday night footy. This is at PointsBet Stadium. I think this will be a cracking game. There's only been one game played between these two clubs, and that was a 36-16 win by the Dolphins at Shark Park. So at PointsBet Stadium last year, round 10 last year to be exact. But based off what we've seen this year and this year's form, I just think the Sharkies are going to be too good in this one. I don't think, we'll go 10 points. Well, let me change it. No, what's going on here? There we go. We'll go 10 points there for the Sharks. Nico Hines is expected to come back. So even if he didn't, I still think the Sharkies get up in this one. They're just playing good footy, man. They're playing good footy. And, I think they've been very competitive this year. I'm going to look at the goods. I think, they're definitely in a good spot at the moment. So, Sharkies, I think, get that one done at 112, or like 10 points there. Next up, we've got the Raiders against the Cowboys. Cowboys have actually been the better of the two teams. In the last 6 games, the Cowboys have won 5 of those 6. However, the Cowboys don't. Actually, they've won the last 2 games they've played at GIO Stadium. So I don't know how this will go. I really don't. This is definitely a game that I think could go either way. Obviously, the Raiders are in better form, so I am going to side with the Raiders. But I mean, I don't know. The Cowboys could be the Raiders' bogey team here, because the Raiders against the Cowboys, not the best team. But I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think they at GIO Stadium, I do think they will be too good, but you never know. All right, next up we've got the Rabbitohs against the Broncos. Rabbitohs do have a better average winning margin over the last 5 years against the Broncos, with a 25-point winning margin. Broncos have a 12-point winning margin over the Rabbitohs, though. Broncos won in round 2 this year, 28-18, and they beat the Rabbitohs 36-20 in Sunday Coast last year. I was at that game. It was horrible. It was not a fun experience at all. So, look, I do think that at a core, I think the Rabbitohs can win this game, man. I really do. I reckon off the back of these last 2 games, I think they're going to be primed for this one. I reckon they get the job done here. So I'm backing in the Rabbitohs. I reckon it'll be a very close game. I don't think it'll be one-sided at all. I think it'll be quite closely contested. But, Cam Murray likely back as well. And there's rumours we could have a couple of other players come back over the next few weeks also. So things are starting to go in the right direction for South Sydney. I just hope we can continue to build off the momentum from these last 2 games. All right, next up we've got the Tigers against the Titans. Titans have won the last 5 games against the Tigers. Tigers do have a better average winning margin though, but the Titans, they're hot to trot at the moment. They've won 2 of their last 5 games in the Tigers' home grounds as well. So, look, both sides are struggling this season. Tigers have lost like the last 9 games or something like that. I can't remember what the stat was. Titans have won 2 out of their last 5. So after that big loss to the Rabbitohs, I reckon the Titans are going to come back in a big way this week. I think we might see a 13-plus win there for the Titans. All right, next up, we've got the Warriors against the Storm. It's hard, man, because the Storm they've got an incredible record against the Warriors. They really, really do. Storm have won the last 8 games against the Warriors. Yeah, by an average margin of 25 points as well. Now, don't get me wrong, when they played at Amy Park earlier this year, it was only a 4-point game. It was only a Xavier Coates try that iced it for the Storm. So I do think that the Warriors can win it. I know everything goes in the Storm's favour, but I just feel like this is a different Warriors team, man. I really do. So I'm going to go the upset here. I'm backing in the Warriors over in New Zealand. Could be a very bold call, but that's what I'm going. All right, next up, we've got the Roosters against the Eels. Eels coming off a loss to the Bulldogs. The Roosters coming off a bye. So Roosters have won 6 of the last 8 games against the Eels. The last game they played was a 22-point win over Parramatta in round 25 of 2023. So Roosters have a better average winning margin over the last 5 years by 4 points over the Eels. And if we look at current form, the Roosters are in better form this season, for sure. The last game was a very close one to the Cowboys, but in saying that, I think it was a loss to the Cowboys, but I do think the Roosters will be too good here. I know it's a CommBank, but I just can't see the Eels getting up for this one. I think the Roosters, they will be way too good. I think coming off a bye, and they would have been filthy about that loss to the Cowboys. So I reckon they're fired up for this one. All right, speaking of fired up, we've got the Dragons against the Seagulls at Brookie. Over the last 7 games, Dragons have won 4, Seagulls have won 3. Dragons' average winning margin is 20 points. Seagulls' average winning margin is 14. Again, this game definitely could go either way. I think at Brookie, Manly will be very tough to beat. Dragons in some red-hot form at the moment, though. 2 big wins, one over the Panthers last week, and this weekend just gone massive win over the Tigers. I think I'm going to back in Manly. I'm going to back in the Seagulls, but I would not be surprised if the Dragons won that one. All right, next up, we've got the Penrith Panthers against the Newcastle Knights. Now, this one's an interesting matchup because they've played over the last 5 years, they've played 7 games against each other. Panthers have won 6. Knights have won 0 because they had a draw back in 2020 where they drew 14 all. However, since then, the Panthers have won all 5 of their games against Newcastle, and quite convincingly as well. 2 games they won by 18 points, 1 by 36. They won last year by 1 point and then 8 points. But I can't see the Knights really competing with the Panthers here. I'm going to go the Panthers, and I do think the Panthers put a bit of a score on in this one. So let's go over the tips once more, and as I always do, I will give you the margin and an anytime try score. So for the Sharks, I'm going Sione Katoa to score anytime, and then obviously 1-12. Raiders Cowboys, I do think this will be a relatively close game. I'm backing in the Raiders 1-12 in this one, and I'm going to say I'm going to go Ethan Strange anytime. Rabbits Broncos, obviously backing in the Rabbitohs 1-12 in this one, and I really think Latrell Mitchell steps up once again. He's my anytime try scorer there. Titans Tigers, I think David Fafita's in for a big game. I think Titans go 13 plus here. Warriors Storm, I think we'll see some crazy stuff from DWZ. He's my anytime try scorer. Warriors 1-12. Roosters over the Eels, I do think it'll be relatively close, 1-12 margin. And I'm going to go Teddy, anytime try scorer. And then Seagulls, Dragons, 1-12 margin here for Manly. And I'm going to go Tommy Talau. Surely he plays because he scored 4 tries on the weekend. I reckon he's a shoo-in for a try. Tommy Talau is my anytime. And then Panthers 13 plus over the Knights. And I'm going to go Ryan To'o scored 3, but I'm going to go Sunil Taruva to score anytime there for the Panthers. All right, guys, let me know who you're backing down below in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.